Robert Kraft today met with members of the Boston media, and he had some things to say on the record, including this on the team's spending. I know there's a perception that we have held back on spending. Let me just say, for our fans, that's just not true. Look, we're blessed to have a coach in our system who was a great coach and also understood value. He ran a tight ship. They say we've been low spenders the last 10 years, and that might be true. But we had a pretty good record, and we won 3 Super Bowls.
Who's they?
Exactly.
They say.
But, according to the actual figures kept by the Management Council and the Players Association. So there is no they. It's just they've been the lowest spending team in the league. But anyway, he says, our coaches have always had the ability to spend at whatever level they wanted. I think Bill has was always thinking about the future and really understood value, but we never held back with any of the coaches we've had over the last 30 years. They've been able to get whatever they want. If cash spending became an issue for our family and we couldn't do it, then I would sell the team. Tommy Kerns,
hey,
one of those who was talking to Robert Kraft today, grabbed that quote from Robert Kraft
Good
today.
Stuff.
Is that believable to you?
Yeah, it is believable because in Bill Belichick, the Patriots hired someone who would be incredibly thrifty with the Kraft's money. And prior to Bill Belichick coming aboard, the Krafts were not really financially disciplined. The number of contracts they handed out in the Pete Carroll years and even in the Bill Parcells years were indicative of that. And if you look back at 2000, Bill came in, he said, this is ridiculous. You're not spending like this anymore. And he put the hammer down. So they profited, the Krafts did, from Bill's stringent constrictions on the spending. And I do think it is accurate. Now, how will they behave post-Bill? Will they be more willing to open their wallets than they had been? I do think that when we look at this, it's just 2 years ago they spent $170-odd million in guaranteed money. They spent more on Bill Belichick than any executive / coach in professional sports. And you can say, well, he did the jobs of many. If he's making $25 million a year, upwards of $30 million a year, there's still not a head coach GM combo that's doing that.
But
so I do think it's,
yeah,
they become the easy target for Bill's thriftiness.
Okay, but right now, the reason it's coming up now is not the players, and we'll see when the players, when free agency starts. Right now, it's, okay, Ben McAdoo still being paid by the Panthers. It is, okay, Nick Caley, the rumor is they weren't willing to meet his level.
Right.
And he was asking too much. And so I think this is coming up.
Glazier's in the coaches'
Yeah, I mean, I think it's coming up
on the money.
Not because of players, but do you think they're willing to do whatever it takes to get the best and the brightest minds on the coaching staff?
Absolutely. I do think that they would love to do that, but I think there is reality that has to step up and slap everybody in the face. It's a 4-13 team that's a little bit rudderless right now in a cold climate with a new head coach and a team that has no quarterback. It's not enticing to anybody. So if you turn around and say, well, what about Alex Van Pelt? And you pass by Nick Caley and his $5 million per year request, you're like, we'll take this guy. He's got more experience. We'd like an older guy instead of a rookie head offense coordinator anyway.
Didn't you just describe Waldron, who went to Chicago? And I'm saying cold climate, no quarterback, etc. And how did the Chicago Bears get Waldron?
And a coach who's pretty much a lame duck.
Who could be done.
Yeah, so could be done, but they have the first overall pick, which could be Caleb Williams, or they have Justin Fields.
Okay, but you have the third, and you can pay him. You can pay them, you can be aggressive, and they're losing out on these guys, and money is part of it. Aggressiveness is part of it. And look, I don't want to say Robert Kraft is lying about this stuff, like, because I think he feels, he's earnest and he's a good owner, and like, but come on, you got to show it. Dead last in the last 10 years. Dead. It'd be one thing if they were 16th.
Again,
okay?
But
dead,
you're right.
32 out of 32. Come on.
But the spending buck has stopped with Bill. Jacoby Myers sat with you guys or somebody this week and said,
yeah, they're $1 million apart.
We got hung up by $1 million apart. Do you think Robert Kraft said, don't give him that last $1 million? No. Let's get Juju in here. Do you think that Robert Kraft is saying, don't sign DeAndre Hopkins because he doesn't practice?
No, but look, I don't care how earnest Kraft is and how good of an owner I think he is. I will never believe that the coach sets the budget. It just doesn't work that way. Now look, can Bill Belichick determine that Jacoby Myers makes 10 and Owenu makes 12? Yes, of course. But the number of what we're going to spend, the cash that flows out of the building, the actual cash figure, that is not the coach.
Don't you think they would have been
never
delighted?
The coach. And I will never believe it as much as they want to tell me that. I'm sorry.
Think about this.
The coach does not set the budget.
Wouldn't they have been delighted to have gotten 4 good years out of Jonnu Smith and been able to pay him the entirety of his contract instead of having to move on from him? Of course they would have. Then the cash would have been higher there. I mean, look, it sounds like I'm defending Robert Kraft as having been somebody who is a spendthrift. What I'm trying to say is Bill is the one who controlled the spending, and the evidence shows that when the Krafts were left to their own devices, they spent like maniacs.
So do you think,
I mean, yes.
Bill's the one who made sure that Brady wasn't going to be around. Hey, I want to raise. No, how about you get these $1 million incentives you have no shot at earning?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. If you go back to those days, and we were all here for it, ask Ted Johnson. He got one of those contracts. Ask Ty Law. He got one of those contracts. McGinnis. Drew Bledsoe got the contract in the very early days of Bill, and then Bill moved on from the contract. So I think, doesn't it come down to this, though, Tom? Hey, Bill's gone.
What happens now?
You've got tons of money, so let's see what you do here.
Are you going to go and
spend? You're going to spend it.
Are you going to give Gardner Minshew $15 million a year?
Well, they're not doing it on the coaches, so that's our only indication yet. You can't blame Bill for that. Bill's not sitting on those meetings. It's ownership representatives. Here's one more comment that Robert Kraft went on the record with, and he was asked about, is he nervous about, these first-year coaches, decision-makers, inexperienced guys calling the shots after Belichick's departure. Kraft said, I feel a sense of excitement. A great opportunity to hopefully position the team to be special. I've said this to our team, who I'm very proud of, that they're working together in a collaborative basis, working hard and reaching out in a lot of areas. This is the first time in 31 years of ownership that we're drafting at the position that we are and have a chance to get some great players and also have the cap room that we've carried over. So I hope it positions us for the next few years beautifully. I've said that to the team. It's pretty exciting. So again, he's talking about the position that he's in. Is he excited about the quality of the people making those calls?
Sounds like he is.
He says that he is. And that was a question I asked him. I said, aren't your hands sweating a little bit that you have a rookie head coach, rookie coordinators, a first-time general manager of, indeterminate title, and $100 million in cash to spend in the third overall pick? Aren't your hands sweating a little bit? And that was his response, is saying, I'm excited. What else is he going to say? What I'm curious to see is how much runway these folks get with these decisions that they're making. Because when you make these decisions,
right,
are you going to be able to carry through 3 or 4 seasons with the plan that was hatched in April and March of 2024? Or are you going to say in 2 years, it's not working? You can't turn into the Jets. So to me, clarity is much more important, or clarity is more important than I think they're giving credit for.
So
Who's in charge?
You're saying these guys get 3 years, 4 years?
Unless you want to be the Jets. That doesn't look good. Let's get out of here. Get Daniels out of here. Get Mayo out of here. Get Elliott Wolf out of here, and we got to restart.
But I think the Jets were right to do that. They just made another wrong choice after blowing up things.
Adam Gase is a good coach.
Oh, I know you still think that, but after a couple of years, it is pretty obvious if somebody's going in the right direction. But he's excited about this, Tom. Who do you think is responsible for his excitement? Because he didn't pick this. He didn't say, let's go get Alex Van Pelt. Let's go get Ben. Hey, is Ben McAdoo still out there? So is he excited about, is this Elliott Wolf's plan? Is he excited about Gerard Mayo's plan? What do you think?
I think it is, to me, a little bit of the Berlin Wall fell. I'm excited about freedom.
That I know what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm excited that we know what we're doing. Look, I had it explained to me that they didn't know who they were going to draft, and you'll never believe this. It's about 3 minutes before they drafted Mac Jones. What are we actually going to do? Are we going to take the kid? So believe it as you want, and I know that it's pushback that I'll get it. I swallow things. I believe them. But to me, they're excited about the opportunity to have these picks. Now, if they turn into Ken Sims, nobody's psyched.